Welcome to Swanson's Thoughts. I'm Swanson.
And I'm Thoughts.
And we're here at beautiful Burnt Barrel in downtown Youngsville, North Carolina. We got Tobacco Wood Brewing here today, and we are going to talk about some of their beer. We got a good show lined up about NBA All-Star Game. College baseball started, a little bit of NASCAR, a little bit of golf, and as always, XFL. Go Battlehawks.
Go Dragons. Seattle's our favorite team out here in Youngsville, North Carolina. So lead us into our first segment here, Swanson.
Like I said, we're going to mix it up a little bit. We got Tobacco Wood here. We got 3 different beers we're going to be sampling tonight. So we got beers of the week, not just one beer, multiple beers. We're excited. We're pumped. Let's go ahead and get this going. What do we got going on today?
Well, thanks, guys, for having me out. I'm Paul Shelton. I'm the VP of Sales for Tobacco Wood Brewing Company. My wife, Mara, is the president and CEO. We're the first female veteran-owned brewery in the state of North Carolina, based out of Oxford, North Carolina. And we really started brewing right before both of us got out of the reserves. Went down to Raleigh on, quote, date night. She was super thrilled about that. And
always, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to Raleigh.
Well, it's mostly really homebrewing. That's what you're going to take me on a date for. I was like, trust me, you're going to be good at this.
I mean, why not? I'll make you a perfect blonde.
Exactly. And I made a blonde, and it was terrible. And she made a Russian Imperial Stout for her first beer, and it was absolutely fantastic.
Well, you got to marry the good ones.
That's right. And I was like, okay, she's a keeper. We'll keep going.
She stayed with you through it.
Exactly. Right, so we proceeded to homebrew starting in like 2006, 2007, and got progressively better. And I say we got progressively better, meaning she got progressively better. I got really good at cooking dinner during the process. And basically got to sample a lot of really tasty beers. And before we opened in 2018, part of that process was making sure that we had someone in the family that could brew a beer more than once on the same system, and no one else could tell which batch was which, and that it was 2 separate batches. And so we were able to achieve that in 2016 with the batch that Mara did, or 2 batches that Mara did. So then we proceeded to change the laws in downtown Oxford so we could install the brewery. And we got open September 18th. We actually took possession of the building on May 8th of 2018, and we're open and serving beer on September 1st.
Wow,
and a feat of in engineering from one of our, both of our minority partners who happen to be commercial construction specialists. So
that works out good.
So we're starting off tonight with our Hazed and Infused, which is based on our base beer, the Moistness, which who doesn't like that word? I'm just saying. Most people
Moist
don't.
is probably one of the best words in the dictionary.
Agreed.
I mean, nobody can discount what uncomfort that brings to a lot of people,
Yeah,
and that's the best part.
That's a real story. And so that name came from when we were hiring our brewer. Mara told him he had creative control, and he said, okay, great. And we got an email from the Brewers Association saying that New England styles are going to be called Hazy Juicy. She said, I hate juicy as a descriptor of a beer, but at least they didn't make us call it moist. Matt looked at her and said, well, we're going to call ours moist. And so thus the Moistness was born. In Oxford, we do the Hot Sauce Festival, everybody's favorite sound. And the Hot Sauce Festival has jalapenos and habaneros. And so we did a jalapeno and habanero infused New England style session IPA.
Oh, wow.
And it's not hot. We took all the capsaicin out of it. There's no heat. Frankly, it's just a quite lovely beer. It's backed by popular demand. We're actually going to make another batch of this at the end of March. It's semi-seasonal. We actually held back 1 sixtel from our last batch, which was done in October, just for a special event. So we tapped that up, got this crowler for you guys, so you can try something a little bit new and different.
Well, I'll tell you what, the habanero beers, man, I've got one from Southern Pine one time, and that right there on a scale of 1 to hot, it doesn't hit you right away, but I felt it towards the end there, and I was crying in my sleep.
I am. It's going to be, we're here, Crazy Fire got me the one
Crazy
time.
Fire got you the one time, but hey, there ain't nothing wrong with old habanero or anything.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
So you can taste the pepper.
Taste the pepper. The pepper's not too overwhelming, which is really nice because it kind of brings out that haziness in there. And I feel like sometimes if you get too much pepper, that it kind of drowns like what you're trying to drink and enjoy.
Exactly.
I was going to say for our listeners, you know how I am with the hot and the spicy, but this is definitely one that I can handle. Do you taste the pepper, as Will said? Yes, you do. But it's not overwhelming. My mouth's not on fire. I'm not reaching one for the rest of the beer. No. And two, I'm not having to go under that jug of water and finish this.
You're not begging for a slice of bread. That's all I'm saying.
I'm standing here. My face is still pale as ever. We're rolling with it.
You know, I've had a couple warm beers here in the last 2 weeks. You know, because I go to Total Wine, I grab myself a couple different beers.
Absolutely.
And I thought the Sweet Thai, I think it is, by Southern Pine, man. I grabbed that thing. I was like, oh, this is a stout. This is going to be fantastic. No, sir, it was not. I actually had the most miserable night of my entire life. I went and grabbed a bottle of whiskey and finished it off.
It does exactly what it says on the label, though. It's a super spicy, really tasty Thai. It's almost a Thai mole stout. Yeah. Fantastic brew if you're looking to melt your face off.
It is. That's for sure.
It's just a lot of heat on that one.
It is.
I was about to say, see, that's run away as fast as you can, kids. You've never seen a big man run as fast as the Flash, but watch me put a jalapeno beer in my mouth that I can't handle.
Like I said, I went and grabbed my bottle of whiskey, and my bottle of whiskey definitely bites me towards the end. So
that happens.
So what's the second beer we got here on tap for us?
Our second beer is False Motivation. As I said, Mara and I were both in the Army. She was actually in the Air Force for 2 years and then went back into the Army because, you know, I can't say why, but anyway. She decided that would be a good idea. So the name of this beer is called False Motivation.
Okay.
And we describe it as when you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you have a drill sergeant or just a heinous NCO that wants to make sure that you're motivated to do PT. A lot of screaming and yelling goes on, and that's creating false motivation.
Sounds like an Army Marine thing right there.
We created essentially liquid false motivation. And again, happiest sound on earth. So we've created liquid false motivation. It's a hazy, juicy IPA. Just an absolutely fantastic, just lots of front notes of orange juice. It's not a juice bomb, so you're not going to get that saccharine sweet front load that you get from a lot of hazy juices that are on the market right now. It's going to be still a little bit of hops, a little bit of character to it. So I think you guys are going to really like this. So let me get you a little
looking forward to it. I tell you what, one of my favorite beers out there. I'm a big fan of the hazy IPAs and just kind of like the juicy IPAs, and but there's nothing better than a New England IPA on a hot summer day.
I
Agreed. Agreed.
So, you know, we started out obviously a batter up. That's our go-to.
That's our go-to.
But we started doing some West Coast IPAs, working our way back across the beautiful country.
Of course.
New England IPAs.
Go America.
Hey,
America.
More damn America. That's what we're here for.
You know, I mean, the fact that, you know, they named their company Tobacco Wood and they're in North Carolina tells you a lot. Not only that, just to give you a little lineage, Oxford is big in the tobacco farming. For example, my in-laws, they owned a tobacco farm and still do farm tobacco out there from people that want to just come out and, you know, they want to sublet the land essentially to make their own products and stuff. But I think the name fits the town 100% of the way, just because that's what Oxford is. And the fact that you guys were able to mend the laws to be able to get a brewery out there. I mean, I tried to have my wedding out there, but because you can't have alcohol in Oxford, they said, sorry, no go. So we moved our wedding somewhere else, but we wanted it on the farm. But, you know, what you guys are doing out there is awesome, and it's opening up an avenue for not just, you know, you guys as far as getting out there and have, you know, a bar here or a bar there, kind of like what Aviator did down in Fuquay. Right. But more or less, you guys are going to create your own town out there in Oxford, and man, it's awesome. I mean, like I said earlier, your chicken and waffles, if you ever go out to Oxford, try it. I'm telling you, you can't miss it. It's the best thing in the world.
It's a fat man's paradise.
It's a fat man's paradise. There's nothing wrong with that. So
now here's the question I want to ask.
Yep.
Tobacco Wood.
Yep.
Tobacco Road.
Yep.
Let's tie it back into some of our sports. Who's your team in the state of North Carolina?
Oh, in the state of North Carolina, that's hard. So I actually grew up as an NC State fan.
I
was a huge
scoreboard, but ouch.
It's brutal right now. So I grew up as an NC State fan. My dad actually was a NC State grad. Junior year of high school, moved to Virginia. Had never heard of any of the schools in Virginia, but I like math, and so I looked at Virginia Tech and looked at NC State, and one was $3,000 and one was $16,000. So I went to go Hokies, and so I went to Virginia Tech and never looked back. It's
Coastal Division
fantastic.
life right there.
I was about to say, shout out to Nick Perry.
Yep.
Cheers.
Yep, there we go.
Absolutely. Cheers.
There it is. Cheers to the ACC.
So having grown up, if I have to choose a North Carolina team, I'd go State. If I don't have to choose a North Carolina team, I always go Hokies.
Right. Well, obviously, your alma mater, there it is.
Absolutely.
Don't have a problem with that one there.
That's good.
That is a solid
That's
beer right
good
there. I tell you what, if you sit that crowler down in front of me on the couch, that thing's probably drank in about half an hour.
That not even a half hour, Will.
You're 100% correct. I'm
What
probably
had-
not even finishing an episode of Rick and Morty.
What had happened was,
That's very good. And when did you start brewing this one?
we actually came out with this one relatively early in the process. It took a couple iterations on the Hazy Juicy to find our real happy place. And we pushed this out the first time in March of 2019.
Okay.
So
So coming up on the year anniversary.
That's right. So in this particular one, we actually did an iteration. So we did what we call our FM preset series. So if you look on Untapped, this is called FM1, the original False Motivation.
Okay.
And the reason it's called that is because we started off with Citra, Mosaic, Kasaka, and what's really interesting on this one is we didn't use a traditional grain bill.
Okay.
So we actually had a hybridized grain bill, so it gives it that a little bit more cloudy, a little bit more orange juice on it, and we're utilizing something called hopzyme in this. So we allows it to break down the hop biomass and gives us a much bigger flavor on the hops for a smaller volume of hops, so we can afford to put a lot of these really top end, really tasty hops in there and get some great flavor out of it.
No, this is a fantastic.
This is a
New England
fantastic
IPA
beer.
right
I mean,
here.
if I'm going on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't give out 10, so I'm going to give it
I was about to say, are we
9.8.
rating
Hey, fair
them?
enough.
Are we
I mean,
rating
it's-
them as we're
it's-
drinking them. We'll wait until the end.
We're waiting till the end, but I got to
Okay.
give this one a rating already. I mean, this is probably one of the best beers we've had on the show. I mean, by
Will,
far.
go ahead. What? Say what it is and give us your rating.
With the FM1, correct?
Yep, false motivation.
False motivation.
So this is the false motivation that we're going forward with, this blend.
Okay.
We actually did 3 other blends and like this one the most, basically.
Okay, so what we're gonna go with here, it's got a clean, crisp taste to it. You can taste the fruitiness, which brings the juiciness in. I gotta probably give this really a 9.10. I mean, if I'm sitting there on the porch one day in the middle of the summer and I'm just watching the dogs run around the backyard, if I had this sitting in my hand, I'd be very much happy with what I'm doing that day, because one, I'm gonna be hammered out there watching the dogs, but two, it's just gonna be a good day because it's a nice cold beer.
Outstanding.
So,
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I get you. You know, hey, we'll go ahead. We'll do it now.
Okay.
I like the taste. I like the flavor. It's refreshing. It's not overwhelming.
Right.
What did you say was the ABV on this?
So the ABV on this one's 7.1, so it can definitely sneak up on you.
I was about to
because
say
it's-
this
it
is one
is-
that would definitely, now knowing that, would sneak up on me, would hurt me as I'm watching the dogs going and running around on the side summer day.
Falling
But
down the stairs, but it's okay.
It's a false a false ABV.
There you
Yes,
go.
that's
Almost
right.
needs to be the name of a beer. I'm just
Exactly.
saying.
That's right.
I think we just got another name for
There
another
we go.
beer.
I love it. Done.
Um,
Yeah.
9.4.
9.4. I like it.
9.4.
Solid scale right there.
It's dang good. Well, we'll definitely do another one.
Oh, 100%.
It's a great New England IPA. Very refreshing.
100%. I mean, you have a lot of New England IPAs that are kind of more on the bitter side of things, and you have a lot of New England IPAs that have the juicy flavor. And I think this really kind of ties both of them together.
Thank you.
And it's as far as if it's something that I had in my fridge, it's one of my first offers to a lot of people.
I was about to say
you know.
it's one that I feel like those that are just coming into the IPA
Yes.
area are
100%.
able to pop one open.
You
and drink it.
can't go too bitter. Can't go
Exactly.
too bitter. You're
That's
not
right.
gonna like it. Hoppy them too much. If
That's right.
there's a lot of stuff out there in the IPA world that if you try it off the bat, I'm sure you know this. If you try it right away, you're gonna I don't want an IPA. I'm never gonna try it again.
Yeah.
And then if you get something that's kind of smooth but it's kind of bitter at the same time, you're like, okay, well, give me a chance with this one.
And that's actually, we find this is what we call our first gateway beer into the craft brewing scene. So we have a lot of folks in Oxford that come in and the first thing out of their mouth is like, what do you mean you don't carry Bud Light? But we're a craft brewery, so of course, nothing against Bud
No
Light.
Budweiser.
It's not going to be in our building.
No Bud Light, no Natty Light.
Yeah,
What
exactly,
we doing?
exactly. Why are we here? And so usually people come and say, what's closest you got to fill in National Light Lager? And we're like, we've got water over here and we've got a Rocket Surge ready cold over here. Which would you prefer? And then when someone says, okay, I've been drinking Rocket Surgery for a while, I love it, I want to go more towards craft, almost invariably our team points them to the direction of false motivation.
Right.
And lets that be their first step into what I would classify as the true craft side of what we do.
Right.
Awesome.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's actually probably what I had the first time I came out to you guys' shop out there in Youngsville. So
I think that's right.
I mean,
actually,
it's probably one of the best beers that you can pair with food too. I mean, like I said, chicken and waffles can't go
Chicken
wrong.
waffles, little false motivation. Hey,
I'm
we're
gonna-
all getting skinny while we're drinking.
I'm gonna
right.
keep promoting that all night long as long as we're talking to Paul. So.
We've also got brisket tacos. I'm just saying. So that's another one that you.
I mean,
go after.
I know
something
you're
you
trying to
gotta get
put weight
on
on
with
me. I know it, but hey, look, I gotta stay thin.
I'm not fat. I'm fluffy.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Well, let's hit our.
Let's wrap it up here.
All
What's
right.
the third one we're going to tonight?
So our third beer tonight is Russian Imperial Stout that we came up with about a month and a half ago. It's called ID10T. And if you were to write ID10T down, you would see that it spells idiot. And that's why that exists, is when you're in the military, you have new infantry officers and infantry enlisted men, they are told, write everything down. When you're under pressure, you forget to write something down, you forget it.
Right.
And so if we noticed a young lieutenant wasn't writing something down, we would say, hey, sir, go to supply, pick up some blinker fluid, some grid squares, and sign your ID10T card.
Where's your
Yeah.
bucket of steam at?
Exactly. I'm going to need you to grab me a bucket of steam while you're there. Yeah, so, and then they would run off, and then you would usually hear excessive amounts of profanity followed by my last name, and they'd come charging out into the platoon area like, what is wrong with you? I was like, a lot, and that's why I'm still very low in the listed pool.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Now, I can tell there's quite a trend with these names here. Is everything trending towards a military background on the names?
Not at all. Not at all. So these three just happen to all. So Hazed and Infused, I mean, that's about as far from the military as you can possibly get, right? Like, that's the antithesis.
Unless it's Vietnam.
Unless it's Vietnam, which different conversation. Our guys back then had to deal with PTSD differently than we do now. So, you know, we being the first female veteran in a brewery in the state of North Carolina, there's an expectation that at least half of our names need to be military themed.
Right.
We have everything from Revolutionary Space Force.
I like it.
Space Force, baby. Number
Space
one in the
Force.
country.
Brand newest service, gotta love it. All the way from that to Bullet Stopper, which is our American Golden Ale. We named that after the infantry. It's where I spent my time in the Army, was as a knuckle dragger, and knuckle dragger was already taken by our friends out at Skull Camp. They have a fantastic double IPA called Knuckle Dragger. If you haven't been out there, try it. It's great. So anyway, back to ID10T. This is a Russian Imperial Stout. It is not bourbon barrel aged. It's just happy and tasty.
Now, are you thinking about putting it in barrels?
Again, that happy sound. Say again?
Are you thinking about putting it in barrels and aging it over time?
We have discussed that. Right now, we don't have a barrel aging program. It's something that we've looked at and have wanted to get into. But right now, we're trying to figure out really space requirements for that and temperature requirements, because you don't want that to get too warm or too cool. We want to kind of keep it midway. So
let's go ahead and dig a hole out in Oxford and start aging it out there.
So funny story, speaking of aging things in Oxford, there is a distillery that will be starting up in Oxford in January of 2021. And it's called Parabola Distilling, and they're actually in the process of, they've actually already changed the laws in downtown so they can have a craft distillery.
Okay.
And so, we're really looking forward to having another craft partner in downtown Oxford.
That's like changing the rules over there.
Again.
Oxford.
Hey, man, you got to break rules somehow.
That's right. I mean,
Raleigh West.
what do you need in a small town? You need your 3 Bs. You need your beans or a coffee shop.
Yep.
You need your bakery and you need your brewery, and that's what brings people, especially people our age, into a small town.
Right.
And we are the first step. We're the brewery. We have a fantastic little coffee shop called Uptown Cafe right around the corner from us, and Uptown, they're actually blending with their parent restaurant called Uptown 101. And then Strong Arm Baking out of southern Granville County is actually moving into downtown Oxford and opening up a restaurant and a bakery in downtown. So it's going to change the face of town even more.
Even more big things.
Might have to move out there and live on the family farm soon, so I'm just saying.
Tell no one, but land is cheap and so is housing.
You're
and
100%
we have all the
correct
good
about
things.
that. You can get the USGA mortgages out there if you like to.
That's correct. You can get USDA, a lot of rural development.
Well, now and also before we try this beer, just kind of want to hit on both places for you real quick.
Yeah.
What is your hours and what days are you open there at Tobacco Wood and also at the coffee shop?
Well, so the like I said, coffee shop's actually blending. So that's not ours. It's a friend of ours around the corner, David Trinita, and they actually they're open Tuesday through Sunday over there at the coffee shop. And like I said, they're blending with their parent restaurant, which is Uptown 101, kind of creating a combined solution.
Okay.
Absolutely fantastic little spot. If you're up in Oxford, definitely check them out. We're open on Wednesday through Sunday. From 11 a.m. in the morning, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. Except for on Sundays, we close at 8. Give everybody a chance to get home.
Understandable.
On Sunday mornings, we do brunch. So all you can eat brunch buffet. Fat people don't fail cooking. I'm just saying. And so we've got all the good things. Yeah, we got.
I think I might know where I'm going this Sunday.
All the good things on brunch, and that's from 11 to 2. Run club's at 4 in case you go over 8 at lunch. You can actually wait for a little while and go jog with us that afternoon.
I think I'm on board for that one right there. I might be visiting Oxford this Sunday, not to see the family.
Yeah, there you go.
But, we, like I said, we want to promote the local businesses as well in Youngsville, but not just here in Oxford, Raleigh, and anywhere local. So go and check out Tobacco Wood at some time and let us know what you think. In beautiful Oxford, North Carolina. Short drive outside of Raleigh, Franklinton, and Youngsville. So let's give this Russian Imperial Stout a try here.
Cheers, guys.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Again, something for those that know us, well, or more me in my beer tasting. As a normal light drinker, molding into the IPAs, something again. I feel comfortable drinking. Good taste, nice and smooth. Went down easy.
Very good taste.
I like it.
Very good taste. Very smooth. I can taste some chocolate notes, some coffee notes in there. Yep. So,
smell.
It's very good smell. This is something that I love to sit down in front of a fire on my couch with my wife, my dogs, and my soon-to-be child.
I was about to say, in a true Swanson way.
And possibly even smoke with a
cigar,
cigar and just sit there and just relax and watch some quality fire burn up there in the propane fireplace, because nobody has any wood-burning fireplaces anymore. But this is something I can sit down and relax and, maybe have a pint or two and call it a night. But this is smooth beyond measures here for me. I'm big into stouts. Definitely, this is something that's out there, man. I really appreciate what you guys brought us tonight. This is good.
That was a great beer sample. Let's go back. The jalapeno one. What's your rating there, Will?
Jalapeno. As you know, I do like spicy things.
Yes.
Obviously not Southern Tier because I harped on that one for a second. But let's give this one. I'm gonna give it an 8.7. I still taste the heat, still taste the peppers, but it is good. It is good enough for me to at least have one while I'm eating dinner.
Yep.
So, for me, as our listeners know, we're Labatt Blue up in here, branching out. But we'll go 7.8.
Okay.
I can handle it. I would drink it when it's in front of me, and I'll probably even buy one to start with.
Right.
Before moving on to maybe a lighter to get me through it. It's like I said, you don't need to be running for the water jug when you have it. And that's something, especially for me, with a jalapeno beer, that'd be fantastic.
No, 100%. So, let me ask you, what do you think of the second beer?
We already rated it.
Oh, that's right, we already did. What do you think about the Russian Imperial Stout? No, you're not a stout guy, not into dark beers.
That, my rating's going to surprise you, Will.
What's that?
Are you ready?
What you got?
8.8.
8.8.
Yes.
Wow. And give me your reasons why behind on this one, because I know you're not big into stouts. And
I'm not big into stouts, yet this tastes pretty dang good. This is another one I know I would be fearful of just a pound a couple back, knowing it probably does have a higher ABV. Am I correct?
Yeah, guess the ABV on that one, guys. I know you probably saw it.
I did not see it.
I'm not going to go over 10,
but
just knowing how most stouts are.
I know over 12 probably because I can taste it in there.
So it's a solid 11.3.
Wow.
And this is one that is, we jokingly call it pretty dangerous because it is quite remarkable. It's very smooth. You can sit back and sip on it. The challenge there, obviously, is if you have two of them, then you have to sit back and wait for a little while before you can go anywhere else.
Yeah.
But it's probably our most successful stout that we've made.
Yep.
We have another coffee infused stout called Kilted Eddie. That's our 6% dry foreign stout that's got infused with Black Rifle Coffee Company coffee.
Wow.
Use Blackbeard's Revenge. You know, use Blackbeard's Revenge on that, and a little bit of Scotch to sterilize the coffee.
Oh, geez.
Well, right there, you already got my favorite coffee company in all the world. So a Black Rifle right there. I mean, I've probably got bags in there I haven't even touched yet in my house.
Oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
I just love the smell of it. I mean, it's fantastic coffee.
It's lovely. You know, it's as many veterans will tell you, we're basically 40% ibuprofen, 40% caffeine, and 10%, 15% alcohol. Maybe a little bit of hate in there, and you know, that's what they're all about, is creating an insanely good blend. And we were able to find that. That's my wife's favorite blend they do, because it's a pirate, and she's like, this is great. And so we actually put it into the Kilted Eddie as our small stout.
I know quite a few people here at the Burn Barrel will definitely love drinking that beer.
Yeah, we've had it on here several times. They've absolutely killed it. We do have one other smaller. It's actually Imperial Porter called Eskimo Brothers.
Hey!
Thought you guys might get a kick out of that one. There's a story there. Unfortunately, it's not safe for podcast. But yeah, if you ever come by the brewery, just ask to get the story behind the Eskimo Brothers name. It's a pretty fun story.
Well, we would definitely be doing that sometime here soon.
With brunch, baby. With
brunch. Just come over. We'll talk about it. It'll be fun.
We 100% will be doing that. Now, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of breweries, they do a lot of limited releases with stouts where they age them, or they do have their special twist on them.
Yep.
Are you guys planning anything in the future for that?
Yeah. So actually, with ID10T, we did two different variants. One was called ID10T-5. We actually did that one for the XO. So my wife is the commanding officer of the brewery. She has XO, which her name's Stephanie Klutz. The XO loves rum, not so much of a fan of the bourbon side, so we did some rum barrel chips in the bottom of the keg, let it sit for about 4 weeks. That gave us a lovely rum finish on that. It's finished up with a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of vanilla. Absolutely fantastic. So that was a super limited release we did around her birthday, actually, in early December, mid-December. We also did one called the ID10T-IC, or Idiotic. And we did that one for a friend of ours who was turning 30 this year. She's a friend of the brewery. One of our Kickstarter founder and backers from our original Kickstarter campaign. And 30th birthday, her husband called and said, hey, I want to do a special beer. She loves bourbon, so we did bourbon barrel chips and a little bit of happiness in there with her for some cocoa nibs and other stuff. And just something fun. Is in the brewery release only. That started off as Mug Club only, so we do have a Mug Club at the brewery.
Right.
So basically, it's Mug Club only for the first 2 days, and after that, it was open season. I think it lasted about 36 hours after we put on open season.
Wow.
Says
That says something about it right there. I mean, I got to say, all the beer that we've had from Tobacco Wood tonight is amazing.
That we've had from Tobacco Wood tonight, all rated over 8.0s.
Yeah.
From both Will and myself.
I mean, as much as I like a good beer, and I've tried a lot of different things. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Aviator. I'm a big fan of Labatt. Me and him both. We love Labatt. There's nothing wrong with a fine Canadian Pilsner,
Absolutely.
Canada's finest.
Go ahead and say but I got to say this. I love a small town brewery, especially when it's veteran owned. And you tell me that, it makes me feel a whole lot better about what I'm buying. And I haven't said this yet, but, thank you and your wife for your service. Without you guys, we don't have the freedom to be able to do this. And you guys deserve every respect that we can give you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on Swanson's Thoughts. We appreciate it. We're excited to get out there, try and even hook up a live on location.
Love to have you.
Definitely going to want to do some Sunday brunch.
Oh, 100%. I might be out there this Sunday. I've got nothing going on.
Maybe we do a jog at 4
maybe
o'clock.
Or a shuffle. I mean, you don't have to run. You just walk.
I'll just stretch, maybe. We'll just stretch out time to get more food in me.
Here's the question: is it a judgment-free zone?
100%, absolutely.
Perfect. Then I don't have to worry about anybody carrying water jugs in there.
That's right. Yeah. So we actually, one of the things that makes us a little bit unique is we are completely, the whole building is a judgment-free zone. I mean, we have everything from, we're like, come as you are. You're part of the family. We actually are a publican-style restaurant, meaning that, and brewery, meaning that we have large, essentially picnic tables. Think the Hofbrauhaus, large beer hall, and so the publican-style service. Come to the bar, take your number, follow, and your food and beer will magically follow you around the space. So we meet some new friends. Maybe you find people that don't look, act, sound, or talk like you, and meet somebody new and have a great conversation. And we have everything on the menu from 4 to 5 vegan options all the way through to as meat-filled happiness as you wish to go, and
you
everything
got-
in between.
More or less, I can get the Swanson breakfast platter. is what you're telling
Yes,
me.
pretty much, yes. So the one thing we can't do, unfortunately, is kosher, but pretty much anything else we can make happen for you.
Whatever. You tell me you
Bacon,
got
bacon,
pancakes and
bacon
waffles,
there,
we're good to
it's
go.
just-
Yeah, we can make all this
And you
work.
guys do live music as well, too, right?
Yeah, we do live music every Saturday. Thank you for bringing that up. Well, that's it. So yeah, we do live music every Saturday evening. Some Friday nights. If you check us out on Facebook, you'll see events for all of those. We've got some really, really solid local talent coming in the next few weeks and months.
Especially as it warms up, nothing like a good Friday,
Absolutely.
Saturday night
100%
Great,
correct.
great outside seating area, about 5,000 square feet inside our bollard, so that's inside our ABC permit. And we have a roll-up garage door on the front of the building. So
Oh,
if we
I
have,
remember
if we
seeing
have
that out
the
there.
music in there, basically you can listen to it inside or outside.
Perfect.
We'd love to have you guys come up and sit down and talk with Matt Bishelli, who's our master brewer. I mean, he's absolutely a magician as far as we're concerned. Fantastic guy, and love to have you have a chance to meet Mara and have a chat with her.
No, 100%.
Excellent. We're excited about the opportunity. Once again, we want to appreciate and say thank you to Tobacco Wood coming out here to Burn Barrel tonight, pouring 3 wonderful beers, and sharing your story and your bio. And we're looking forward to getting out to Oxford and checking you all out.
100%. So, look, Paul, we appreciate you coming out tonight, and anything we can do for you, man, let us know. But we'll see you soon.
Cheers, guys. Thanks so much for the
Thank you,
opportunity.
buddy. Moving on to our baseball segment for today in Swanson Thoughts.
Hey, how about it? Spring training's underway. Games are going on. We know Will is just ecstatic. Baseball's your sport. Here we go. Will, talk to the
Let me
people
tell
for a
you,
couple minutes.
I watched the Yankees on Saturday afternoon at my house on the TV on MLB Network, and by God, it's the greatest Saturday of all because baseball's back. We're
Tell you,
here
chop
watching
on.
baseball.
Braves are going to win it all this year.
Well,
Let's
apparently
go
you don't know
Atlanta.
the Yankees have Garrett Cole, but hey, we'll listen later.
Did you or did you not lose a starting pitcher today?
We may have lost
More or
Luis
less
Severino.
breaking news. Yankees down a pitcher.
We may have lost Luis Severino, but it is okay because we are still the Yankees and we can afford to lose Luis Severino.
Here's the
'cause
news
he'll be back for the playoffs.
Here's the news everyone's looking forward to. All right. Astros have their first spring training game. What happens?
So, I understand you're coming at me at the first spring training game. Not a whole lot happened because Jose Altuve, pretty much the whole Astros team didn't
Right.
play. They were just kind of there. But in the second game against the Tigers, they drive up to Lakeland. I think a short hour drive or a little less. And Jose Altuve gets plunked in the foot after a strikeout and a double, I believe. It was definitely unintentional because, I mean, who wants to plunk somebody in the foot that's really
As
not
Dusty
right, you know?
Baker said.
Yeah, but it's okay, though, because he got hit. And you know what? The Houston Asterix deserve to be hit.
Oh, I
I
love
mean,
how you just worded that.
I don't like the Astros for what they did, and I will never appreciate what Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa ever do ever again in their careers. They could hit 1,000,000 home runs, and I don't care about them because they cheated to win a World Series. What do you got on that, Swanson? How do you feel about that?
You know, truthfully, I don't think the punishment was enough.
No, not enough.
I think
The commissioner called it just a piece of metal.
yeah.
I mean, these guys worked their entire lives to win a World Series. From the day that they're 3 years old, they worked their entire lives with the dream of winning a World Series, and the commissioner called it a piece of metal. He said, "What, you want me to take it back?" Yes.
Here's my thing, right? I'm trying to figure out what the comparison would be if it was an NBA team, an NFL team, college basketball, college football even. You see what they did to SMU back in the 90s, or, early times, and what they had to deal with.
They would have got the death penalty if it was college sports.
Exactly. You look at what other programs are going through with this Adidas scandal, and here we are, more or less, the Astros get a slap on the wrist. Your championship still stands. I don't know.
This is
right.
This is where I'm at with the Astros. They won a World Series. They cheated for it. Roger Maris hit 61 home runs. He played in a couple more games than Babe Ruth, and they put an asterisk next to it. And you know what? Pete Rose is still suspended or banned from baseball because he cheated.
Right.
He never cheated. All he did was bet on baseball. He never bet against his team to lose. He never cheated. The Chicago Black Sox, they may have shaved points. It is what it is. We're still talking about 100 years later. If you're going to let the Astros get off scotch-free, you got to let the Black Sox get back in. You got to let Pete Rose back in because it's not fair to baseball and baseball fans.
That's what I was about to say. The fact that Pete Rose gets that punishment, but the Astros, in my opinion, had a far worse crime. Again, slap on the wrist.
Slap on the wrist. I mean, that's all it was. I mean, and it's not fair to what Pete Rose did as a player. I mean, tell me one player that was better than Pete Rose as a hitter at the plate.
At the time, no one.
Nobody.
At the time.
There's only one other player I can think of in the history of baseball that's better than Pete Rose at the plate.
Go ahead, Ronald Acuna.
Tony Gwynn. Sorry that Ronald Acuna is not going to be as good as Pete Rose.
Acuna Matata.
Acuna Matata means no worries for the rest of our days. But listen, baseball is tarnished. They have a black eye on the sport right now because Rob Manfred is a joke. He does not deserve to be the commissioner of baseball. He needs to be fired, let go, kicked out of office. He's done for. I'm sorry, Rob, but you're done. Get out of here.
You heard it here first from Will. Will, let's move on. I see you getting worked up there.
Thank you.
Where are we going next, bud?
I think we got a little NBA All-Star action this past week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Heck of a game. Far more competitive than usual. I like the new rule changes.
Man, that new format.
I want to say NFL, take notice. The fans want to see a game, not more or less just an all-star. Let's see what it does.
No, and that's what it is. It was fun to watch because it came down to the last shot, essentially. I mean, Anthony Davis walked it off with the free throw, and LeBron saw him down there in the low post, hit him up with the pass, got the foul. I think that was on. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever.
Drawing
a blank here. Sorry about that, fans, for the NBA. But I believe the big thing on it was that the NBA made it fun to watch the All-Star game again. You know, it used to just be a shoot fest or a dunk fest, and hey, let's score some points.
I mean, it was still a high-scoring game.
It was.
I want to say, what, 150?
157 to 155.
Yeah.
157 is the point to hit in the game because obviously, it's high-scoring.
But, it felt like a more competitive
it did.
150s than if it was 160.
And breaking news real quick in college basketball, Wake Forest with the upset over Duke, 113 to 102.
That's back-to-back losses for in-state.
Wow.
Duke.
I mean, Duke, man, you're taking a fat L there against Wake Forest.
I'll throw this fact out for you. Wake Forest and Duke are now tied for the same amount of wins in the state of North Carolina amongst ACC teams.
But you know what? You know who Duke can't beat?
NC State.
NC State. You know who Carolina can beat? NC State.
You know who Wake Forest can beat?
Duke.
NC State.
And NC State.
In Carolina.
Hey,
is Wake Forest
Wake Forest might be relevant.
Champion?
App State might be.
App State,
don't
ECU.
Don't get App State fans excited, though. They don't know what it's like to be in the ACC. ECU, sorry, you'll never be in the ACC. But back to the NBA real quick, though. I mean, the playoff push, man. What we got? What do you think? Who do you have as your two teams in the finals? I know we've hit on it recently here in the last few weeks.
We have. Here's my two thoughts on it.
Okay.
In my opinion, I'll even go semifinals with it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going that far.
Western Conference. Who you got?
Western Conference semifinals. Are you ready? We're ready. Lakers versus Nuggets. 7 games. Lakers win 4-3 for the series to get to the NBA championship. On the eastern side.
Okay.
Will, you ready?
Wait. Let me guess.
Do you want to guess?
I want to guess. I want to guess.
All right.
You got the Celtics, and you got the Timberwolves.
Incorrect.
Oh, wow.
Not even close. Not even close.
Give me some facts here, Swanson.
Here we go. Bucks are getting to the semifinals.
Okay.
You ready?
Sorry, I meant Bucks.
Sleeper.
Not Timberwolves.
See?
They look like the same thing.
I was about to say Timberwolves are in the Western Conference.
Yeah,
I was letting that slide. Bucks versus, most will say the Raptors. Nay, not Swanson. Bucks Heat semifinals.
Bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off.
Heat making a run at it that falls short you end up with a Lakers-Bucks final. LeBron wins his last championship game. Okay?
Okay.
LeBron's Lakers win 6 games, LA over Milwaukee, and that, mark my words, is LeBron's final NBA championship.
Does LeBron stick around and play with his son?
Yes, of course. I'm just saying, this is his last championship. Eventually, the body's going to wear out, and it does, it just is what it is.
Do you think what he does is what Kobe-esque, where he goes out on top and scores 80 in his last game, or 60 or 70 or whatever?
LeBron's last game is a 40-point, 17 rebound, 11 assist triple-dub.
Wow.
Against the Clippers.
Bold prediction, Cotton, but I love it.
Mark it 3 years from now. There you go. LeBron's done.
So, if we're going 3 years from now with LeBron being done in 3 years, so you're giving him 1 year with his son, I can appreciate that.
Yep.
But,
passes the torch on to Bronny.
Okay. So you think when LeBron retires, you think Bronny takes over? Or who do you got as the next superstar?
Next superstar, you got to go Doncic. You got to go Trae Young. I'm curious.
Luka's a GOAT already. I might be buying his jersey here soon.
Luka's absolutely fantastic.
The graffiti Mavs jersey?
I would love to see a Mavs at Hornets game. Hornets, hit us up if we can make this happen. Would be a heck of a game to see. Doncic is the man. Hey, let's dream big. Let's see if we can get Doncic on the show.
Hey, why not? Why don't we just reach out to you on Twitter here, Luka? We're going to hit you up on Twitter, Instagram, any media platform we can get. Just give us a little excerpt. We'll send you some questions and see if you can hit us up back, buddy.
100%. Send us your thoughts on who you think is going to be big in the NBA at Swanson's Thoughts on Twitter and Instagram. Moving on. Here we go. The moment you've been waiting for. College basketball season. Hey, roll Flyers, Will.
Roll Flyers, baby.
Flyers.
Do not get me wrong. The Dayton Flyers are going all the way. You heard it here first, people. They are going all the way.
Highest ranking in school history. My man, Obi, getting it done. Flyers number 4 in the country. Gonzaga can't beat them.
Dude,
Duke
talk about the West
beat
Coast
them.
this weekend, man.
Okay.
Taking fat L's all over the West Coast.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell them. Hit them with
Gonzaga and Baylor? Baylor, man.
And San Diego
State losing out there out on the West Coast, man. I thought they'd play West Coast style basketball where they put up a lot of points.
Yes.
But you know what? Let me give you a little breakdown here.
All right. Go ahead. Hit me with it.
My top 4 seeds going into the college basketball March Madness tournament.
Hey.
AKA
let's just think about it. March is a week away.
March is a week away. And you know what comes up next week?
Tournaments for March.
No. The best game all year.
Oh, don't Duke Carolina, man.
Duke Carolina, baby, in Cameron. Let me give you this real quick fact here. My top 4 seeds going into the dance,
all right, hit
a.k.a.
him with
March Madness.
Hit him with my 4.
I'm going to hit you with a little bit of Kansas, number 1 overall, because, Bill Self has got them playing some quality basketball out there.
Big win over Baylor.
Big win over Baylor. Sorry, Baylor, you ain't in my top 4. You got to drop out. Dayton, you're my number 2.
Love it. Roll Flyers.
Feel proud. Little ACC love here. Going Florida State. Duke, you don't deserve it after that loss tonight against Wake Forest. Sorry about it. You know what? But my number 4, though, it's been a hard one. I think it's going to come down to the tournament.
4's the toss-up.
4 is the toss-up. I'm reaching for this one here because I don't know who. Louisville, you're my number 4. Yep. Little ACC love, little ACC
win the
action.
ACC tournament, get the fourth number 1 seed.
Yeah, number 4 seed. It's something that we got to look forward to in the tournament. They're a quality team. They can play. They can shoot. They got big guys. They can get up and down court efficiently.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Let me drop some real knowledge on you here, Will.
Give me some facts.
Number 1, overall, here's my top 4 for the 4 number 1 seeds in the NCAA tournament. Kansas, number 1. We agree there. No fault. I don't blame you. They're a heck of a team.
100%.
Now that they're getting some good point guard play, they're ready to roll. Second, number 1 seed, Florida State.
Wow.
Florida State's my number 2, number 1 seed. I think they end up going to Greensboro, getting the job done. Leonard Hamilton has his best Florida State team to date comes out Florida State number 2, number 1 seed. Okay.
Wow.
My third number 1 seed, Kentucky. I think the name, and unfortunately, I see them playing my beautiful Auburn Tigers in the SEC championship and pulling it out in Nashville with Big Blue Nation. They clinched the third number 1 seed.
Calipari doesn't deserve it, but whatever.
He doesn't. He doesn't at all. But I think name recognition, they need another blue blood, gets the job done. Catlanta is going to be massive. You can't argue it.
No, you can't.
My fourth number 1 seed. Roll Flyers. Dayton gets
Really?
a number 1 seed
The 4 seed, huh?
and runs it down as a 1 seed.
I mean, I can give them a respect at 4 seed, but I really think they can get the number 2 seed if they're staying there at number 4 in the rankings. I see them jumping Baylor and Gonzaga and getting up there. They're going to win their conference, you know that.
I was about to say, Dayton, take care of business, represent Swanson's thoughts. Let's get the job done.
Dayton, you win the Natty, I'm buying a jersey. You heard it here first, folks. The other thing is dark horse. Who's your dark horse?
My dark horse, Seton Hall, plays a very aggressive basketball, will out-physical most people. I'm just saying, watch out for Seton Hall Pirates.
Dominant.
And they're capable of playing with anyone. At worst, whenever they get knocked out, I don't think they're going to win the national championship. Every game is going to be within a 4-point game in the NCAA tournament. What's your dark horse?
You know what? I'm going to go with a solid choice here, even though they are on a 2-game losing streak. Yeah, it might be unprecedented, but I'm going to go old country roads here. Take me home. West Virginia.
No way.
And the only reason I choose them, they can shoot.
Bob Huggins cannot have a team that gets to the Final Four.
Bob Huggins can't coach. We know that.
They can't shoot. They
can play. They've got Ben Roethlisberger backing them with Ryan Switzer. They got it. They can do it.
Oh my goodness.
So let's just think about this. March Madness. Who's your national champion?
I think it's Kansas.
Kansas?
I think it's Kansas. Rock chalk.
I can go Kansas as well. I can't argue with that, and I think that's a solid point for us to roll with right there. So put your money on Kansas, folks. I think that's the bet we're going to take for the rest of the season here on Kansas win the Natty Championship here. And a big thank you out to our sponsors from Burnt Barrel, Tobacco Wood, and Paul Shelton. And also a thank you to BJ at the OCL, Oak City Logistics. Going to move on into now to our questions of the night. What do we got from Twitter there, Swanson?
One of our favorite segments here, besides Your Chugs, Our Chugs.
Your Chugs, Our Chugs, which we finished up early on tonight.
Here we go. At When Higgs Fly says, who do the Raiders take with their first draft pick?
Who do the Raiders take?
Yeah.
Jeez. Where are they at in the draft?
I want to say it's like 18th to 20th range.
I'm going to say if they can get him, if he falls that far, is Jerry Jeudy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get a receiver, go out there, give Derek Carr somebody to throw to. I almost said David Carr. Wow, what a scrub.
Here's my pick here. Number 18 from LSU, Clavon Chason.
Wow.
Is going to be there. Take the D end.
That's
replace Mac. Get you something special to build off in Vegas.
Well, and I don't blame you for wanting to go that way. I mean,
also,
I think Carr needs somebody to throw to though. But also, I think they might trade Carr away.
I don't disagree with you there. But let's give Chason's parents some credit here.
Okay.
How great of a last name is it for a DN to have Chason as the last name?
I mean, he's just going to chase on all the quarterbacks in the league. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, roll Tigers.
Roll Flyers.
What we got next here on the docket for us?
At Ace Boogie here says...
Ace Boogie,
favorite
Ace follower.
Boogie, one of our favorite followers here. Who do you see winning the SEC tournament championship in men's basketball?
Hate to say this. Go Wildcats.
I think it's going to be Kentucky versus Auburn final. Unfortunately, my Tigers come up on the short end there. Kentucky wins it and becomes a a 1 seed. I hate to say it. I'm not a big, I ain't Big Blue. I ain't about that. If you ask me Big Blue, it's Michigan. Screw Kentucky.
Yeah, screw Michigan, go Penn State. But what I got to say, though, is Kentucky has definitely got the upper hand against Auburn. I mean, Auburn has got the size they can shoot.
Granted,
but
Will, what's the season record between Auburn and Kentucky?
If I'm not mistaken, it's 1-1.
No, incorrect. False statement. 1-0. My Tigers on top.
I'm sorry, but they're probably still going to lose
War
the
Eagle.
playoff because Kentucky can overpower them. John Calipari
It's
says
not
they're going to develop talent.
true,
You know what?
sir. It's not true.
Negative. Fake news.
Auburn on top.
Fake news.
Auburn on top. Know it. Recognize it. Tigers on top.
Auburn.
Moving on. Moving on.
Calm down there, pal.
Nick Perry with the ultimate question here. We'll catch you off guard. What's your favorite vacation destination? We've never had something like this on the show. What's your favorite vacation destination?
Well, I know yours, Swanson, so don't go ahead and answer just yet.
You go ahead first.
Having been on my honeymoon and gone to a sandals resort, I have to say, St. Lucia. I have never seen bluer water in the Caribbean like I have in St. Lucia.
Get out of
that
here.
is,
Get out of
I
here.
had Jack and Cokes
I
for
can tell
free
you
all day long.
I can tell you where you will find bluer water. It is
Don't
simple.
you say Disneyland.
It's in
Don't you
Lake
say Disneyland.
Buena Vista, Florida.
I don't want to get in water.
Disney
that's
World
tainted. I don't want to get
has
in Mickey
the
Mouse tainted
bluest
water.
of bluest water.
Mickey Mouse tainted water is disgusting. That water smells gross. It's from Orlando. No offense, Orlando, but it's kind of gross.
At Nick Perry, I'm sorry you had to hear the lies of Will. Best vacation destination, Disney World. Disney World on top.
Who's
Will.
going to pass up free pitons, free Jack and Cokes, and free mixed drinks all day long? I'm sitting in the pool, and I got a slushy half filled with tequila or rum or vodka or whiskey, and I'm just having a good old time.
I'm just saying.
Playing volleyball with my wife. There's nothing better.
Walt Disney World
Spike the ball
in
her
Orlando, Florida, a great American destination. We got a breaking tweet in just now from at Jacob Turner THI. Carolina's win over NC State.
Oh, man.
I hate saying this, and I hate this segment now because of it.
85-79 Roll Hills.
Does that give UNC momentum rolling into Greensboro?
Of course it does.
At
Of
Jacob
course it
Turner THI.
Do I think Carolina wins the tournament? Hell no. We're not good enough right now at this stage in their season.
You're a Wednesday at best team in
We are
Greensboro.
Wednesday. If they want to win it all, they got to play every day in a row. They have to. And come Sunday, they won't be able to do it. What we're looking at with Carolina for them to succeed in it is they literally have to be a bulldozer through the whole tournament, and it's not happening. It's got to be a miracle for them to win the whole thing.
It's a miracle.
You know what?
It's
Roll
a miracle.
Heels.
It's a miracle now, Will, if Carolina makes the NIT. Go ahead and say that. Welcome to the CBI.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Welcome to
Not
the
disagreeing with
CBI.
Have fun in your 4 seed in the
Roy
NCAA.
Williams needs to retire.
If
He's
you're-
done.
if you're
He's
getting on
dried
that
up,
bandwagon-
he's washed up.
If you're on
Carolina's on the downslide, Will.
If you're on
Go
that
ahead and
bandwagon,
say it.
If you're on that bandwagon of fire Roy and that he needs to retire, you know what? Go ahead and hop off because next
I'm
year
just
we're
saying.
winning it all. We're
You're
going
not
all the way
winning-
next year.
You're not
How can
winning
you
it all, sir.
How can you say with a straight face,
Ding!
Carolina
Your
will not be
time's
back?
up.
You know,
Ding!
No.
Ding!
This is over.
Moving
We're
on.
done.
Moving
Tigers are going to
on.
hell.
At Robo Heel. It stinks.
They don't play nobody, Paul.
You're right. Carolina doesn't play nobody.
That says Ohio State.
Ohio State doesn't play nobody. Big Ten is a joke.
Terps.
You and I already know that. Ohio State, the Big Ten, it's a jerk. It's SEC over everybody.
College basketball
Will.
joke.
SEC is the greatest conference in the world. Not America,
Wow.
the world.
Go Premier League.
The SEC brings in more money than the Premier League. Know that.
You know what?
I hate to say it, but
no,
Bama is the second most powerful team in
Manchester
the world.
City, Manchester United,
They're banned.
Arsenal,
Manchester
Liverpool,
City
best soccer
is
teams in the country.
banned.
in the world. Best soccer teams ever.
You'll never walk alone, sir. Liverpool on top. Me and my boy LeBron James have it. We know it. We know our football. Okay.
You
We
don't
know
know
our
nothing about
soccer.
football.
Liverpool on top. New Balance, best sponsor for European
joke.
sponsor.
This guy's a
How
joke.
about it, sir?
It's starting to sound like Paul Feinbaum. Listen, and this is just a joke.
All right.
Get
All
Mike
right.
Greenberg out here.
All right,
for
here
me,
we go.
please.
We got 3 more questions here for the week.
Let's keep going before I start getting into soccer.
It's
too much.
terrible. It's a dang tragedy here.
Roll Penguins.
No. At Robo Heel, I want to say partial to you. How many wins does Carolina football get in 2020 season? I don't want to hear your lies. I want to hear your truths. You're just as easy to start out 0-3 as you are 2-1.
Let me just slide this mic over here real quick, okay? First off, we're taking the dub against UCF. They're a joke. They don't exist anymore. Scott Frost, he went to Nebraska, started a league.
I'm just saying, they get their quarterback back. Okay.
But you know what?
I'm just saying.
Here's my thing about Carolina football.
I swear, if you say Mac is back for the umpteenth time, nobody cares, Will. Nobody cares.
Mac is back. And not only that, Sam is back. Phil is back. Dez is back. Michael Carter's back. De'Ami Brown's back. Chaz Surratt's back. It's not even a competition. We're going to open the year with UCF. It's going to be a cakewalk. They're nothing anymore. Scott Frost is in Nebraska losing games left and right. He doesn't exist anymore. And then you know what we're going to do? You know what we're going to do?
Orlando.
We're going to roll on down to Atlanta.
My goodness.
We're going to roll on down to Alabama.
Don't you even say it.
Hop on the Tar Heel train, baby.
There's
rolling
no
down there and taking out
train
Auburn.
going to Atlanta.
There's a train rolling in, and you better be on it because they're rolling through Tiger Country, baby.
Let me tell you what.
We're taking out the Auburn Tigers.
You're not.
Sam Howell's going for 300. Two
listen.
bills. He's going for 2 touchdowns. We're going to have 2 bills from De'Ami Brown. It's happening.
Will, let me educate you here. There's only 2 train conductors naturally in college football. 1, Big Ten. Shut your mouth. 1, Big Ten. Purdue Boilermakers, their logo is literally a train. 2, as we know in SEC country where football is king, the only train that matters and still needs to finish 2nd or 3rd in the SEC East.
The Lane Train.
Incorrect. The big orange train out of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh,
sir,
sorry.
Big orange train
fifth place
with
isn't good
Jeremy
up here.
Pruitt is coming down the tracks to finish in their usual 2nd or 3rd place behind Georgia and Florida in the SEC. Those are the only 2 trains that are relevant, sir.
They don't play no ball.
They don't play nobody. I agree with you.
It's the SEC. They don't play nobody.
Neither does Carolina. Step it up. Get out of the coastal. Try and be in the Atlantic. Let's see what
they roll
happens.
right through it, baby. Trevor Lawrence ain't nothing but a cakewalk. Ask Chaz Surratt last year. He sacked him twice at Carolina.
I'm just saying. Answer at Robo Heel's question. What is Carolina football's record in 2020, sir?
12-0 prior to the ACC championship.
12. Oh my goodness! Get out of here.
I gave them 8-4.
UNC at best 8-4 or 9-3. That is absolutely.
Who do you have them losing to then? Give me your chances.
They're losing. Hold on. Let me pull up
Don't
the
give me
schedule.
your Auburn crap. Don't tell me Boston College. Don't tell me NC State. Because it's not happening. They got Duke. They got Miami. They got Pitt's number. They're 6-1 against Pitt. It don't matter who they play. It doesn't matter. You know why?
All right.
Because they can smell what the Rock is cooking.
Incorrect, sir. Are you ready for 3 to 4 at minimum losses?
Give me here.
Here we go.
Hit me.
1. Do I think you beat UCF? Unfortunately, yes, I do. Do I think you get smacked by my Auburn Tigers?
No.
Yes.
False.
I 100% think you do. It's a 20-point game. The SEC is on top We're always on top. We're always better.
False.
There's one loss.
False news.
One loss, sir.
Fake news.
At Virginia on 10-3-20. Loss number 2.
Fake news.
Bronco Mendenhall getting the job done. Loss number 3. Are you ready?
You got us losing to Virginia?
Yes, 100%.
Virginia.
100%.
You got us losing to the Wahoos.
100%.
Fake
At
news.
At Virginia, go show. Hey, loss number 2. Loss number 3. We don't even have to go that far down the schedule. 10-24-2020 at Miami.
Fake news.
The U is coming back. They got a quarterback finally. It's
They
gonna
say that every year.
happen.
They say that every Nicole
It's
Kosi, whatever his name
gonna
is.
happen.
It's fake news. Manny Diaz can't beat anybody. He lost to the Owls. Lost to the Owls.
Listen.
Butch Davis is taking his job. The U is not back until Butch Davis is in the driver's seat.
I don't want to hear it. Here we go. Last loss here. 11-14-20. Pitt, Pat Narduzzi has
cannot beat
Carolina's
UNC.
number. That's a big old hold it L before we even
The only
include the
thing
bowl
Pat
game.
Narduzzi can beat is, well, you can get that rest of the way. But look, I'm telling you this. Carolina has a very legitimate chance to go 12-0. The only game on their schedule that they can lose, and it's possible for them to lose, is in Atlanta to Auburn. And the only reason I say that is because that's going to be a 3-point game and come down to the last
It's not.
5 minutes of the game.
Will, it's a home game for Auburn. It's a 45-minute drive from the Tigers.
It doesn't matter.
It's going to be
the
absolutely
heels travel
beautiful.
well with Matt
They
Brown
don't.
in the driver's seat.
No, they don't. If it's not men's basketball,
It's Carolina blue all over,
doesn't
baby.
give a crap.
Wave the flag.
That Georgia Dome, that Mercedes-Benz Stadium is 90-10 Auburn Tigers. Sir.
You know what?
I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Nobody.
I don't
there's
want
nobody,
to hear it.
I was going to tell you this, but the fact that Auburn wears orange and Carolina wears blue, they're going to win. Either team can win.
no.
Because no team in Georgia can win
No.
that wears red other than Tiger Woods. I said it. There
That
it
is 100% true. Now, I will give you that Georgia chokes on things like nobody.
Georgia, Atlanta, what can we say? You're
All
still
right,
out there,
moving
though.
into our final question, seeing as I can't win you over here. James
We're
Higgs.
running up against the clock, so we got to get out of here.
James Higgs at Win Higgs Fly. Shout out to my boy. Here we go. What do you think? Rake the Power 5 conferences before March for men's basketball. That's a deep one.
It is a deep
Now,
one.
we
and
dove
mainly,
into that a little bit.
mainly because college basketball is a joke this year, and that we really can't come up with a good assumption of who is good and who
Anyone
is
can
bad.
win it. Anyone can win it. So let's assume when he means Power 5, we got SEC, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, Pac-10. Would you agree that's the power? I almost want to say A10 because roll Flyers.
I mean, I'm going to go Big 10. I think they've got the top to bottom, probably the best.
So that's your one. Are we doing this 5-1 or are we doing 1-5?
I'm going 1 to 5.
You're going 1 to 5. All right, hit us up.
I think Big 10 is the deepest as far as how many teams they have that can compete.
Yep.
SEC has probably the best teams right now currently. The ACC has 2 of the best teams in the league, but they only have 2 of them.
Yep.
And that's in Florida State and Louisville.
Okay.
After that it falls off. The Big 12, it's
do you respect
tragic.
Baylor? I mean, we know we respect Kansas. Do you respect Baylor?
I respect Kansas, but I don't respect Baylor. I'm going to give
There
them
you
the
go.
3 seed.
They don't play nobody, Paul. Hit the button.
Hit the button. They don't play nobody,
Boom.
Paul.
They
Boom,
don't
there
play
it is.
nobody, Paul.
The Pac-12, man. The Pac. After the 3, it falls off. I can't even rank them.
Okay.
This is crap.
All right, here we go. You ready? Swanson's thoughts here. Here we go. Worst to first, number 5,
Okay.
Pac-12. Garbage, absolute trash. They shouldn't even be a conference. Almost give me the AAC before you give me a Pac-12 team. Everyone there would never win in any of the 4 conferences. All right? There we go there. Number 4, Big 12. It's Baylor. It's Kansas. The rest of them don't deserve to make it.
Respectable.
They're not going to get past the second round. Why are we even here? Why are we having this conversation?
Respectable.
Number 3, ACC. It's a down year. I normally respect the ACC for basketball.
ACC is normally number 1.
Dude, you're losing to NC State. You're losing to Wake Forest. Who the heck are you? Florida State, Louisville, I agree with you. Top teams. Florida State, I believe, is better than that. We're moving on.
Real news.
Here's my thing. If you say, who's the better conference from top to bottom in basketball, I say Big Ten. But here's my thing. Number 2 is the Big Ten. I don't think anyone out of that conference is winning it. Top to bottom, are they better? Yes. Are they going to win it? No. By no means. No. Number 1 conference in men's basketball, the SEC. The reason I'm saying that is, hey, obviously watch out for my Auburn Tigers, but I think Kentucky is going to bring it home, play Kansas. Do I think Kansas wins? Yes. But do I respect how far the rest of the SEC is going to go? When you look at Auburn, Kentucky, Miss State, Florida, Arkansas, shoot, even Bama, I don't like LSU, but they got a heck of a team. It's a deep conference that has played some valuable opponents that will get the job done. Opener statement here for those that want to doubt it. The SEC teams won the most beginning of the season tournaments than any other conference, followed by the Big 12, then ACC. I'm just saying, when tournaments count, who delivers? The SEC. It's the mightiest conference in every sport. I don't want to hear the argument, SEC over everything, Will.
Can't blame you on that one there. I mean, the SEC is definitely stronger this year as far as what they have at upper end talent. But I think for tonight, this might wrap us up here. And we can't thank you any more for listening to Swanson Thoughts and our beer segment tonight. You know, big shout out to Tobacco Wood coming out of Burnt Barrel and giving us a great segment. Paul Shelton, I mean, fantastic guest tonight. We really appreciate you.
We're looking forward to being out there, doing brunch, going out maybe on a regular night, checking it out, doing a live 100%. On location. War Damn Eagle, Roll Heels, Roll
baby,
Flyers.
Big win over State tonight.
Thank you to Burnt Barrel for letting us do our thing here.
Again,
right on downtown Main Street in beautiful Youngsville, North Carolina.
Always quality beer on tap out here. Can't thank Amy enough for letting us host in this fine establishment.
100%.
Here.
Amy, we look forward to it. We love the crowds that were here tonight. With that being said, check out Burnt Barrel. I'm Swanson.
And I'm Thoughts, and we thank you for listening tonight. You have a great night, everybody.
And that's our thoughts.